just wanted to make a rambling video about why I like astrology and why I believe in astrology. So, for the skeptics out there, I'm sorry, I don't have a long list of facts and proof and evidence. I'm going to just tell you based on my internal compass, what I've seen, what I believe. I'm going to tell you what makes logical sense to me. I will first say that anyone getting into astrology, beware that this is not, I'm not talking about sun signs. You're not just one of the 12 sun signs. And I'm not talking about what you read in 17 magazines saying, like, your crush is going to fall in love with you because you're a Leo. Like, I'm not talking about that. So, now that we're on the same page. And now, another thing that we need to be on the same page on is that we literally cannot prove or disprove astrology. So I don't want to see any articles about you're wrong because blah blah blah. Oh, have you heard of the Barnum effect? And have you heard of confirmation bias? Yeah, I've already heard of that. So I've already researched this. I've already come to my conclusion. So please don't try to act like you think that you're smarter than me because I've actually researched this. So yeah. And please don't pretend like you have a logical conclusion whenever you don't even know what you're talking about and haven't even taken the time to study it. So that's my disclaimer. But I'll just say with astrology that if the sun can do so many things for us that we can't see, like the sun literally gives us vitamin D, the sun has its gravitational pull that has all these planets around it. It literally brings life. Like, there are all these other planets that we're aware of, and we haven't been able to prove life yet, but we know that because of the sun, we are alive. Like, just think about how crazy that is. And then think about how crazy it is to say that because I was born in July, when the sun was facing me in a specific way, I have certain tendencies. To say that that is crazy is really diminishing the sun's power and taking for granted all that it does for us. And I think it's honestly pretty stupid to think that the planets don't have any effect on us. Because the truth is, I don't know if you're religious or if you're scientific or whatever you are, but these things really do go hand in hand. Like people that say they believe in the Big Bang Theory, oh, it's proof that God doesn't exist because it was just a Big Bang and there it was. My question is, well, who created the Big Bang? Was it God? These scientific people that say Big Bang, there's a question of who even did that. Or was it a who? Or was it, who, was there always energy? Or who created energy? What created energy? How was energy created? That's the question that religion tries to answer. Religion that says, oh, the Big Bang's not true because the Bible says that. That literally makes no sense and you're delusional. Because why can't they both be true and why can't we try and logically think about what could be? And the thing is there's been studies that show that the moon can affect women's menstrual cycles. The moon can affect the tidal waves. So that's another planetary body that apparently has effect on the Earth. There's the sun and the moon. Those are actually the things that affect us the most. If you look at your astrology, everything all the way from Mercury to Pluto affects you somehow. But your sun and your moon affects you the most. When you were born, that is the first energy that you were accustomed to. Just like it matters, like how hot it is. Like they've actually proven that. They've proven that if you are born in winter versus if you're born in summer, that actually affects the way that the baby is based on like the temperature. Because when you were born, you aren't used to this crazy shithole that we call life. And so you're getting accustomed to things. And so everything that you are around creates who you are and creates the tendencies that you prefer. So when you're born, based on wherever the sun and the moon and all that is going to affect you. And the sun and the moon, they're the closest to us, or not literal. Okay, the sun is not, whatever. The sun and the moon are the most important to us, and so those, wherever those planets are, which there are 12 signs from Aries to Pisces, wherever they are is affecting you the most, with Mercury and Venus pretty close, but after that, and then Mars, Jupiter, all that shit. So let me just explain astrology for those that don't know. When you're born, it's almost like you're taking a screenshot, a snapshot of the sky. And wherever each planet is, whatever part of the sky it is, that's a sign. And so you probably know what your sun sign is. Like, I'm a Leo. I'm born July 29th, so I'm a Leo. But you might not know where your moon sign is, where your Venus sign is, where your Mercury sign is. These things are all different aspects of you. And so I guess I'm just saying, I'm throwing out there, why is it so crazy to believe that these things matter? Because each person has their own unique individual snapshot, unless you are literally born at the same exact time as someone in the same exact place. Because the place you're born to affects it. It's the exact time, the exact place, the exact coordinates. So everyone is unique. So that explains the reason why people are like, oh, well, I'm not like all these other Leos or whatever. So that, also, it's so complex that it cannot possibly be proven, because it doesn't prove things. Because there is, what am I saying? There's free will, you know, and there's also predestination, and I don't know which one you believe in, or if you believe in that they both coincide, but the truth is that you can believe in astrology and not think that it predetermines things. You can just see it as a tendency. Kind of like with Myers-Briggs, you see your functions as a preference. So I think of your personality, Myers-Briggs, your functions, as the way you act and the preferences for acting. But I think of the reason for that as astrology, and that's the soul. That's the flavor of your soul. And so when you research astrology, you're going to find, for those that are not too skeptical and are open for it, you're going to find that researching astrology is really going to tell you way more about you than Myers-Briggs. Because Myers-Briggs was only 16 types. And with astrology, it's you. It's just you. And I think that we make a lot of conclusions about ourselves. We say, I'm this way, I'm that way. And Myers-Briggs, a lot of ways, is a way that people do that. They're like, I'm a feeler, I'm a thinker. And they do that, and they put themselves in boxes. And you know what? If you research your astrology profile, it's going to completely get rid of that box. And yeah, it is. I had a friend that I was showing this to, and it's like, I don't know if I'm a Taurus, though, because they seem so boring. And I was like, well, there are some times where you are boring. Like, you know, or like, you have to really look holistically at all aspects of you. Also, no offense to Tauruses, you aren't all boring. But, like, for example, I'm a Leo, and so, as a Leo, they're often written as very, like, bold and daring and courageous and sometimes full of themselves. And that doesn't necessarily fit with the definition of the ENFJ. But I am an ENFJ, and I'm a Leo, and so it's just another layer, and you have to get out of your boxes, because there are some things about my chart that makes me seem so friendly and such a martyr, like the typical ENFJ description. And there are some that make me seem like a total bitch, which is not like the ENFJ description. And I don't know, I'm being a little hard on myself to say it's a total bitch thing. But it's getting dark, so I have to wrap this up. If anyone has any questions about astrology, please comment. I would love to go into it more. I feel like I'm a beginner, but I am honestly probably intermediate. I've just never really had to explain astrology much. I have more friends that are into Myers-Briggs that I talk to them about frequently, and so I kind of hesitate to share whenever I haven't explained it much, but if anyone is wanting to dig into that, I think a lot of my followers that are into Myers-Briggs would really enjoy astrology, because if you ever are confused about your type, or you feel like, sometimes I feel like an INTJ and sometimes I feel like an INFJ, and I'm just not sure, you'll probably see in your chart that you have water and air or something going against each other. So let me just say real quick that there are 4 elements: water, fire, air, and earth. And they coincide, where water is like feeling, fire is like intuition, air is like thinking, and earth is like sensing. They do coincide a little bit, and so that you might notice. So yeah, I hope you liked listening to this rant, and I appreciate you if you made it this far. Thanks.